Welcome to Freedom Forest, guys, the 3-acre edible oasis that we're creating here in the south of England, where we like to try lots of new things and push the boundaries with what we can grow using permaculture and no-dig methods. Absolutely no chemicals, weed killers or synthetic fertilisers, just what nature provides. So today I've got lots of little jobs to catch up on here at Freedom Forest, and I thought I'd bring you with me to show you what I'm up to, and also you can take a look around and see how everything is. Some things aren't doing great because we are in the middle of a drought here, but other things are still holding on pretty well. This Three Sisters bed behind me is looking really good, so we're really happy about that. So let's get busy and see what we're up to today. Okay, so next I've got quite a lot of clearing and tidying to do in my net house, just to make space for some more plants that I've got ready to go in and to generally tidy away the dead foliage and keep on top of it. So I'm going to get busy in here now. Right, so that is our net house tidied up, and it really did need that because a lot of the younger small plants that I had in were getting completely swamped by a lot of the bigger cows, particularly the perennial cows, which I had at either end of the net house. And as you can see, I've been pretty brutal with those. But where they're perennial, they should send up some new shoots and hopefully get some lovely fresh new growth, because they'd just gotten so big and the leaves were going mouldy and there was just no airflow. So hopefully now everything will get more airflow and light, and all the young plants and the older ones will grow on better. So we've made heaps of compost from this clear up as well. I've got a bag here and a massive pile of bits outside, which I will have to run the mower over and then add to the compost pile. But that is all good because it will all go back to the earth and feed in our plants in the long run. And if you want to see more about the net house, then stay tuned, because I'm hopefully going to bring another video from in here really soon, just going into a bit more detail about what we grow and really the benefit of having this place. And also, if you do want to see how we made this net house, how we covered it, we do already have a video on that, which I will link in here, so check that out. And I've got some before and after shots for you here, so hopefully you can see the difference. For starters, we can actually open the door fully now, because this big cow down here was actually completely blocking the doorway. So yeah, looking good. And if I do get a chance later on today, before this perennial cow has been sat around too long and before I mulch it up, then I will take some cuttings of the ends of the perennial variety, just to put them into pots to start rooting so that we keep it going. But if I don't get to that, I'm not too worried, because I do already have some rooting in the net house now. Okay, so the next thing I'm doing at the moment is collecting up seeds for saving as they dry on the stems. So I'm just going to pop up to our main growing area now and grab a few seeds that I have seen are nice and dry over the last few days. Oh, and before we do that, we must just pop down here into the food forest and let me show you our plum tree, because this little tree has been absolutely amazing this year, and it's only 3 years old, or it's in its third growing season I think, and it has been absolutely covered in fruit this year. We've already had a big harvest from it, and we've just been snacking on the plums as we come by. So yeah, really beautiful. We've been really enjoying that little plum tree this year. And I'll actually be harvesting all the rest of those plums off the tree later on today. And that's something else that's really important to stay on top of at this time of year is harvesting, because that will help keep your plants producing as well. Now, obviously with the plum tree, that one isn't going to produce any more plums for this year than what it has already. But one thing that we are learning is to really stay on top of the harvesting, because if we don't, something else will. And obviously we want to be enjoying the crops as much as possible that we've put the effort into. And other stuff, yeah, like your courgettes and cucumbers, it's really important, beans, to harvest all those things really regularly, because that will keep those crops producing. But let's take a look at the seeds now. So here I've got coriander, which I've let run to seed, and they're starting to dry off now. There's some of them which aren't dry, but I'm just going to pick through there and snip off the heads that are dry and put them into brown paper bags so that they can store. And then I've got another batch the same up here. So we'll take a look at those and see what we've got. So the other seeds I've been collecting already is parsnip seeds. I always let a few plants run to seed, and the bugs love the seed heads when they're, or the flower heads when they're blooming. And yeah, really easy seed to collect. I only grow one variety of parsnip here, so that's true and tender. And yeah, so I know they haven't cross-pollinated with anything. And as you can probably see, everything else is really quite dry up here, but we're doing what we can with the limited water and the lack of rain that we've been getting. And the other seed I'm going to be collecting today is from our rainbow chard plants, or silver beet, some people might know it as. And I've got one here which is looking really nice and dry, and this was actually a red vein plant, and that's one of my favourites. So yeah, I want to make sure we get some seed from here. And then I've got some more. I think there was a green and a yellow here, but you can see these ones aren't quite fully dry yet, so we'll come back to those another day. And the other seed I'll just try and find dry as well is any allium seeds, because that's something that I'm saving this year to use as a garnish on salads and yeah, just on top of dishes. So I'm trying to get a little bit of a supply of those up and stored, just as another fun thing to try. And speaking of seeds, I thought it would be nice to share what seeds I'm sowing right now as well in August, because there's still quite a few things that you can be sowing. So we'll just pop through here over the fence. We're going to put a gate in here at some point. And yeah, I'll just take you into the net house and we can have a look at the seeds that you can be sowing in August still. I'll be doing a second sowing of a lot of these probably around the middle of the month. So if you're quick, there's still time to do some of these seeds. Okay, so I sowed all of these on the 3rd and 4th of August. And this is a mixed tray of Chinese greens mostly. So we've got pak choy, we've got purple mustard, tatsoi, then we've got some ordinary spinach growing in there. I think that's Matador, that variety. And then some salad rocket coming on there as well. So you can see they've germinated really fast. There's all my cuttings of the perennial kale that we grow here as well. In this tray I've got some herbs, so we've done some more coriander, dill and chervil, and yeah, now is a good time to do more herbs, particularly things like the coriander, which they don't like the full heat of summer, so good time to get on with those. Over here I've got some kohlrabi there. Now that was a little bit of an earlier sowing, so I think it's probably a bit too late if you're in the same area as us. Then over here I've got another tray of lettuce, and this will be our autumn lettuce in there. So more seeds for August here, and this is one of my favourites for this time of year, and this is a tray of turnips. I've got 3 different varieties, 2 of which are Milan. One is a white Milan and one is a purple Milan, and then the snowball variety, and that was just using up my seeds that I had. But you can see they were done on the 3rd and they're germinating already. And I'll also be doing a sowing of the turnips direct, and I'll hopefully do that in the next few days, and then I might well do another tray as a backup as well, just in case the direct sowing doesn't take. But yeah, I love my turnips for winter, so we'll be getting a lot of those in. And yeah, I'll probably do another sowing of the herbs for sure, and yeah, maybe another second sowing of the Chinese greens as well. So plenty you can still be sowing in August. So watering the tunnels is something that we have to do 3 times a week. We have to get in there early before it gets too hot, usually before 8 o'clock, and today is a watering day. So where we've only got a gravity-fed water system, I fill up big containers the night before and water with cans in this tunnel so that Dan can be watering in the tunnel next door at the same time, because otherwise we don't have the water pressure to have the 2 hoses running at once. And my next job is plaiting and sorting all of my garlic and elephant garlic. So I'm just going to go up here now and grab the garlic and hopefully find somewhere shady where I can sit down and get it all sorted out. So here it all is. It's looking pretty good. It's been hung here for about 5 weeks now. So I'm going to get this down and get it all in a wheelbarrow and start to give it a sort. This is going to be mostly my seed garlic, and then I've got another pile which would definitely be the eating garlic. I want to plant about 200 cloves this year, but when we break these down I won't end up planting all of them. I'll only plant the biggest ones, so we'll get a bit more garlic to eat off of this bunch as well. So let's have a go. So bear with me, it always takes me a little while to get my flow going with the plaiting again, but yeah, let's see what we can do. We're off. Pretty tough work on the arms, this. Holding all these necks down tightly. But more the thing that gets me with it, as you might have been able to tell, is finding the flow, like which side you keep adding to. If I hesitate on which bulb to add, I seem to lose my flow with it. So hopefully we'll keep it going now. Keep it going. Right, see how many we've got. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. I think let's go for 20. Because I've got 60. I had 60 bulbs here, so I think I'll do 20 each plat. So another 2. And there. And cross it over. And last one on the outside. And then into the middle. And then we can just plat off this final bit. Whew, these are tough this year, they're really strong necks. And that's my first bunch of seed garlic. So that's all the elephant garlic sorted. The 3 plats on the left are mainly for seed, and then the 2 plats and the basket of rounds on the right will be for eating now. And yesterday I found these red onions that we'd forgotten about in amongst the potatoes, so I harvested those and have had them drying out in the sun, and so I'll quickly plat those up here as well before I go and cool off for a bit and then find somewhere a little bit more shady to plat all of the French garlic. So I hope you've enjoyed seeing what we're up to around here at the moment. Let us know in the comments down below if it was useful and if you enjoyed the video. Give it a thumbs up also if you did. Make sure that you're subscribed to our channel as this really helps, and we'll catch you here again soon. Peace and plants.